That's funny. Just dropped the phone. Thought I'd go live a bit. I'm out here waiting in the car, so I decided I'd go live a bit out here in the parking lot. Got some kind of noise in the background. You always got to be aware of your surroundings, especially when you're using the phone and you're not at home in the privacy of your safe home. I'm trying to move the camera around to get a good view. It's kind of dark in here in the car, so I can lean my seat back a little bit. That's too far. That's too much. All right, doesn't look too bad. Hello. Thanks for stopping by. Doing a quick live out here in the car. Thought I'd jump on and do a little video while I'm waiting. So yes, I'm having a 4th of July. Thought I'd jump on here and say hello. Hope everyone's having a nice 4th of July with their family and friends, celebrating the holiday of 4th of July here in the United States. Everything's going good. I had a nice day. Did a little bit of work. Went out to the store, got a little dinner. Now I'm on my way back home. Pulled over for a little bit. My wife went into the store here, so I thought I'd jump on and do a short little video. Want to thank everyone again for supporting my channel, making some good remarks here as far as my content goes, getting a lot of people to jump on and watch it. I appreciate that. Getting people to share it, which I appreciate also, and getting people to subscribe. So all is going well on my channel. I have another video. I wrote the script this morning that I planned. I thought about shooting it today, but I decided to take a little break. Been working pretty much nonstop here on the YouTube channel, which I am very much enjoying, and I will continue to keep working on it. Waiting for a little bit of people to jump onto this live stream. That's what I like about the live stream. I get on, I start talking. I have something in mind that I want to talk about, but I want to have a few viewers online so they can hear what I'm saying from the beginning. And I watched some of my previous lives. I had a different approach. One approach was to wait until I had a nice group here, and before I started talking about my content. But then I thought it might be better, even if I'm filling time, doing like a pre-talk before I get a number of viewers jumped on and I get into my real topic. Now we're starting to climb up a little bit. Hello. Thanks for stopping by. I know you discovered me probably in the live stream as you're looking at some shorts. Decided to go live on this 4th of July. Hello. I'm trying to look at these comments down here. Nice to see you there. Hey. I see the effect. I can't see the first part, but thanks for stopping in. I appreciate people jumping on the live stream. Again, like I said, I love the live stream because people can discover who I am. I can talk a little bit about my channel. I can talk a little bit about the content that I make. And then you could just scroll right on to watch more shorts. So that's the beauty of it. Once I found out that this vertical live stream, when I first started YouTube, I wasn't familiar with the vertical live stream. I realized that about a year ago, the vertical live stream was getting more promoted by YouTube. So about maybe, 3 weeks ago or 4 weeks ago, I started jumping on board the vertical live stream. And the first time I was doing it wrong. I'm primarily an actor, director, and editor. So what I was doing with the vertical live stream was explaining the editing process as I was editing a project. Too boring, bad idea, didn't work. Because the editing process is really slow. It's not exciting to watch. I found that out the hard way. I had a lot of you guys looking over my shoulder as I was editing. And, it's a really tedious process because when you're editing something, especially when I was working on a short film, I was editing a short film for someone, and you make a lot of decisions and you can't make them fast. You have to think about them. You have to decide what cuts work, what cuts don't work. You maybe make a cut, then you go back and you change it. You play through the timeline to look at what you've done to see if it works, if the story is going where you want it to go, if it's going where it should go, especially when you're working for someone else. When you're editing for a client, it's a lot different than when you're editing for yourself. So I realized that editing live wasn't really going to work. And actually, to tell you the truth, I have kind of stopped editing with clients in person. It's a good thing because in the past, when I've been editing for like 35 years. So in the past, clients always would love to sit in because, it was new. It was something interesting. Most of the time it's their first or second project and they want to sit in on the edit so they can make decisions and be part of the creative process. I would always caution people and try to dissuade them in sitting in on a rough cut, because the rough cut is when I don't even know what I'm doing. I'm following your script and I'm trying to see if the footage you shot can be manipulated to create what's written on the page. And a lot of times it's not. A lot of times, if you've read any things by any articles or stories from editors, pro editors, big time editors, a lot of times the film is created in the edit bay. The writer has one vision, the director comes on, likes the script, decides to direct it. He has another vision. And then when the editor comes on, the editor tries to stick as close as possible to the director's vision, but the script is also a guide. So as the editor, you're working with two different visions, and you need to straddle that line between both visions. The script is like the Bible, the heart. You know where it's supposed to go. And then the reality of what the director gave you is the footage that you have to work with to manipulate it to bring that story to life and to stick as close as possible to the script. And then sometimes the director will want to go off in a different version. But what I always do, and what I find interesting, is I usually stick to the script as much as possible. And I make that cut based on the script. And I stick to the script, even if it comes out longer than they're going to want to use for a release. So I stick to the script and I put together what I call the long rough cut. And the long rough cut, sometimes the long rough cut can be 2 hours, 3 hours, because I put everything in, everything they shot that makes sense with the story. I try to add it into that long rough cut. So that's the process that I normally do. So when I started showing you guys some of my work behind the scenes, I realized that, watching someone edit, it's not like a gamer playing a game where there's things happening, you're shooting, you're running, you're hiding, you're fighting the enemy, that kind of thing. So that could be interesting. I mean, it is interesting because it's big business where gamers show their gameplay, but it's not set up for the editing world, because editing is very slow. It's a meticulous process. You're looking at footage, you're trying to make a scene work where maybe in one take the actor or actress lifted their head this way and they spoke, or they lifted their head down that way. And then when you cut, you're trying to match something over the shoulder. So you're nudging this way, you're nudging that way. You're going back to other footage to see if something works, if something doesn't work. So it's a very slow, meticulous process. And it's not something that would be interesting enough. And I found that out the hard way. I kind of knew it, but I said, okay, let me give it a try. So once I had found out about this vertical live, I said, okay, yeah, let them sit in the edit bay with me and see what they think. I had very few takers. I had people watch, jump on and off, but that gave me the idea to do what I'm doing right now with you. I jump on and off. So when I have something to say, when I'm, out and about during the day, or every morning when I get up and I finally get down to the edit bay, I try to jump on and do a recap of what I did the other day. And then during that day, 1 or 2 times during the day, I jump on this vertical live stream, which I find very beneficial. And if you can go down below, you can go to my website and you can see some of the content that I've created. A lot of humorous content, a lot of content dealing towards actors, directors, and editors. So it's content for people who like to make content. My content is for people who like to make content. I'm not teaching you really how to make it on YouTube, but once I'm monetized, I might do some videos about that. That's something that I have in the back of my mind. Once I go through the whole process and I become monetized and my channel is moving forward, I may reach back and create videos for people to help them get to where I am. So that's another idea that I have, which I'm thinking about doing. And that would probably be potentially a spin-off channel, because I'm going to keep this channel because this is my baby. This is where I create content that's really dear to my heart. The content I create here will be educational, humorous, comedy, all that kind of stuff. Entertainment channel. And that's what I'm slowly building. I'm starting to create more entertainment content. And I've even started putting up some clips from some of my past entertainment work that I've done, um, to help people find out a little bit more of who I am, what I've done, and how I built my career over the past 35 years. And so YouTube really gives you that freedom. Like right now, I'm live. I'm streaming to you. I'm just talking stream of consciousness. And I'm trying to stay on topic about what I talk about here on YouTube, about acting, directing, and editing. So that's what I love about it. It's like you're talking to a friend who just wants to listen. You don't have to worry about their questions or whatever, but you can contact me. And I do try to look down here in the, every time I remind myself, I try to look down here in the comments so I can answer your questions. And what I've been planning to do too, which I haven't set a day or time yet, I want to have some live events that are all about me answering your questions. If you have anything about acting, directing, or editing, I'll be there. We'll set a time, 1 hour, 2 hours, and we'll do a live event. But that has to be something that I have to, get off the ground and plan so that I can promote it before ahead of time. So that's how you do these live events. You have to market it somehow. And obviously the best place to market it will be right here on YouTube so you guys can find it. So it looks like I'm coming to the end of this little session right here. I'm about to log off, and I'll be back on again tomorrow, probably in the afternoon. I plan to do I might do a little bit of editing tonight, and I have a script to shoot. And I'm definitely not going to shoot it tonight, so I'll shoot that script in the morning. All right, I'm signing off. I'll talk to you soon.